Today we're going to be talking about the volume of cylinders. Volume of cylinders will help you figure out how much things can hold. For example, this silo next to this barn. Finding the volume of this cylinder will help you determine how much grain that can hold. Let's talk about prisms first. Prisms are any figure with rectangular sides that have two bases. So here, this Toblerone candy bar has a triangular base here and a triangular base back here and rectangle faces. Here, this Rubik's Cube has square faces on top and bottom and then square or rectangular faces on the sides. These pencils have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, so they're hexagonal prisms because there's a hexagon at the other end of the pencil as well. The volume of any prism, any two-based figure, is area of the base times the height. So for a triangle, the area of the base would be half base times height. For a rectangle, it'd be length times width, and then times the height. When we look at cylinders, instead of having rectangles all around, have one big rectangle, kind of like a soup can. A soup can, if you peel off the label, it's just a rectangle. The two bases are circles. So our volume formula is still going to hold the area of the base times the height. But since we've got a circle for every single base, we have volume is pi times radius squared times height. Because your radius squared times pi, that's just the area of one of those circles. Now keep in mind, the radius is this distance halfway across the circle. If they give you the distance all the way across, that's called the diameter. And you'll need to split that diameter in half in order to find your radius. Let's look at this figure right here. We've got a radius of 6 feet and a height of 9 feet. Let's find the volume. So I'm going to just substitute in what I know. Volume is pi, and for this unit, I'm always going to use 3 1400ths for pi. So there's 3.14 times my radius, which is 6. So I've got 6 squared times my height, which is 9. And that height is the distance from circle to circle. So even if it's sitting on its side, that 9 is still going to be the height. Now all we have to do is calculate the answer. 6 squared is not 6 times 2, remember. 6 squared means 6 times itself twice. So that's going to be 3.14 times 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 36. And then times our height, which is 9. I don't expect you to know this off the top of your head. I don't know what these numbers are multiplied off the top of your head, and I don't want you to spend the time crunching them by hand. I would much rather you get to harder problems than spend your time trying to multiply these out. So let's just go ahead and type them in the calculator. So I've got pi times 36 times 9. That gives me 1,017 3600ths. My units on that, since I took 6 feet times 6 feet times 9 feet, that's feet times feet times feet. So that's going to be feet cubed. The reason we have cubed is because we're talking about a volume. We're talking about how much it can fill. So that's like filling this with a whole bunch of little 1 foot by 1 foot boxes to figure out how many of those boxes will fit in this figure. Try this problem on your own. Pause your video and restart once you have the answer. Did you get 753 6/10 centimeters cubed? If you did, give yourself a big giant smiley face. If you didn't, go back to the last problem and try again. Let's look at this problem. For this problem, we've got a height of 21 feet and a diameter of 10 feet. So that means the distance all the way across this circle is 10 feet. Well, for my formula, I don't want all the way across. I just want the radius. I just want halfway across. So I'm going to have to take this 10 and divide it by 2 so I get a radius of 5 feet. Now we can use our exact same formula. Volume is pi times our radius, which is 5, so times 5 squared times our height, which is 21. Plugging those in the calculator, so pi times 5 squared, 5 times 5 is 25, times 21 gives me 1,648.5 feet cubed. So 1,648.5 feet cubed. Try this one on your own. Pause your video and try it on your own. When you get an answer, restart your video and see if you agree. Did you get 942 centimeters cubed? If you did, give yourself a star. If you didn't, go back to the last example and try it on your own. You have 3 homework problems. The first 2 are exactly like the last ones we've just done. The last one is a bit more complex. In case it's difficult to see on your iPad, I'll go ahead and go over the different measurements here. For this one, number 1, we have a radius of 9 units, a height of 12 units. For number 2, this is the actual dimensions for a Red Bull can, as discovered online this morning. The height is 6.5 inches tall, and the diameter is 2.5. So remember, diameter, that's going to measure all the way across. That's the 2.5. For number 3, I want you to try, this one's a challenge one, and I will probably give a little bit of a bonus for this one. For this one, the picture looks a lot more confusing than it actually is. This one, it says the diameter all the way across your toilet paper roll is 110 millimeters. The diameter of the opening is 45 millimeters. And then the height from base to base is 100 millimeters. So I want you to figure out the volume of just the toilet paper. So I don't want that empty toilet paper roll piece in the middle. I want you to find just the volume of the toilet paper. So a hint here, it might involve some subtraction to figure that out. So who's up for the challenge? Let's see. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.